What's up? Hey, hello, everyone. Wow. So it's a double duo weekend with podcasting. So today is a very exciting day, and my name is Rachel.
And I'm Alyssa, and today we're going to tell you all about how our channel was born. Because we did one of these videos, I think, 2 years ago. We did it a
Yeah.
while ago, but it was kind of messed up because the camera settings weren't right. So that was a
And
time.
yeah, the last one we did, you could literally only see me for like the 15-minute long video that was happening. And so it's very awkward when you see my face, I'm not talking, but you hear Alyssa's voice. Sort of weird. We were going to do a Survivor Season 38 twists and tricks today, but then realizing we've really talked about all of the like Edge of Extinction stuff in our previous videos. If you look on the Season 38 playlist on our channel, so we really didn't feel like there aren't any new like updates that are happening about Season 38, so we didn't want to beat the dead horse, so we're talking about our inception story.
Yeah. And so we were talking before this video started about like, oh, how long ago did we start this channel? And we realized that we started this channel almost 4 years ago. We were juniors in high school and now we're juniors in college. So that's been four
Oh
years.
my god. Just thinking about it, like if you look back at our first videos on this channel, our voices, our faces, what we look like, oh my god, it's like cringe city. Our first ever season that we podcasted and talked about all the way through was season 31. So if you just think about like how far ago that is literally so mind-boggling that we've been like doing this for so long.
Yeah, it's really weird too, just because I feel like we've both learned a lot about Survivor, like throughout the course of our podcasting journey. When we first started, I would say that like I had been a casual fan of Survivor for a while because my mom and I used to watch Survivor together. But then after we started podcasting, I had to like actually learn about Survivor. I watched some of the older seasons that I didn't remember watching. It was crazy. There are still some seasons of Survivor that I haven't seen yet, and I'm like working on seeing those. It's just like, wow, I've learned so much. I've changed so much.
Yeah, and even just like speaking in general, public speaking, it's sort of fun. Like, oh, we just sit in front of a camera or our computer and just literally talk about a random subject. And when you tell other people that, they think it's sort of neat or they think you're a crazy loser. So you get the two ends of the spectrum with that. But I don't know. Overall, I think it's just like, it's a fun thing that we like to do and we're going to keep doing it. So 4 years ago, literally, I don't even know. It was like fall of junior year, and then
No, I think it was spring of junior
we didn't
year.
start till spring though. Yeah, like we talked about it in the fall, but then like
Yeah.
nothing happened. So like Alyssa and I were always, I guess, like friends, like I don't know, like mutual
We've
friends.
known each other
Yeah.
since we were 5 because we went to kindergarten in the same elementary school. We went to elementary school and middle school and then high school together. And like we had
Yeah.
been together in the same grade through all of that. So we've
And
known each other a hot.
yeah, been in the same friend group the entire time. So like then we had a physics class together with Mr. Kowalski, and like physics was literally the bane of our existence. I don't know. It was just so hard. It was like a fine class, but for some reason, just like physics was not happening for me and maybe you, but like it was such a bad class.
Yeah, I remember I felt so happy. I think at the end of physics, I got an A by like 1 point or something. And I was like, oh my God, this is the hardest class I've ever taken. And I took physics last semester in college, and I realized that the reason that our physics class sucked was because our teachers sucked. So that was a time.
Hopefully he's not watching this. We would like joke with our teacher, because not a professor, teacher about like, oh, haha, like we really like the TV show Survivor. We would talk about it in class. And then we were like, Mr. Kowalski, you should apply for Survivor because like I don't know, he's the lanky, kind of sort of awkward dude, maybe like a worse Steven Fishback. So we were like, dude, like we would film your video if you applied. That'd be so funny. So that was like our running joke, but
He
I
also
don't know
told
if
us
he
about the
liked us.
time he'd eaten a scorpion. He'd eaten a scorpion once, and he like told us about it. And he was like, "I think I could be on Survivor. I've eaten a scorpion." It's like, what? So
But
that
yeah, I
man.
think he just like did our jokes and that was it. Not really sure if he liked us or whatever, but like who knows?
Yeah, so we did that, and then at the end of our junior year, we had a ton of time because the seniors had graduated. They graduate late May, and then everyone else in our school system doesn't get out until like mid-June. And
Yep.
so there were a fair number of seniors in our class. So like basically our teacher had to make lesson plans for like I think 15 people. And so basically and this class was an hour and a half long.
Oh.
So it was the worst. But he basically like as it got closer and closer to when we were supposed to get out of school, he basically stopped caring. So Rachel and I would watch a ton of like Survivor compilation videos on YouTube, and yeah.
Stopped caring. That's a funny way to put things. Yeah, I think because we would have had to start the season that spring semester. So like just that having that physics class as like the brooding point to create this idea and watch a podcast and like seeing Rob has a podcast do podcasts was like really inspiring and just like wanting to emulate that kind of thing and like talk about a show that we're super interested in and like it's interesting to talk about honestly with the game theory and stuff behind Survivor. This light is so weird. It's like really interesting and like this physics class was the creation brooding point for this podcast. I feel like if Alyssa and I didn't have this class together, have an hour and a half every other day to just like fester in this idea or like inspire each other, then it wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah, and so then we started actually like watching Survivor. It took us a hot sec to figure out like how to set up the YouTube channel because like we knew that you could like do live hangouts from YouTube, and it took us a hot sec to figure out how to actually do that because like we knew how to create a YouTube account. We were like not stupid, but we had to figure out like how to do this hangout on air thing. And then the first podcast that we tried to do, we just looked at each other and laughed for like a solid like 2 or 3 minutes straight because we could not like the idea of presenting to a camera had never really like been a thing. Neither of us had really done a lot of public speaking. Rachel was about to do a lot of public speaking because like of stuff that was happening in her life, but like before that point, we hadn't really done a lot of public speaking or anything. So we laughed and then we deleted the video and we're like, can we actually do this?
Oh my god, it was like such an awkward video because we just sit there, stare at the camera and laugh and then like talk to each other like what do we do? Like do we end it? And like obviously no one was watching because the channel didn't have any followers or anything like that. But like just the thought of like oh my god, we're being broadcasted and then we were laughing and embarrassing ourselves. Delete the video and we were like holy crap, like are we trying again tomorrow to talk about this or like waiting till next week or like never doing it again? Like what's up?
Yeah, and I think we also we're not very good at like knowing when to talk like with or to each other because like you can hear that sometimes in our videos Rachel and I will like accidentally talk over each other, but it was a lot worse at the beginning just because we weren't really like familiar with each other's like talking styles yet. And as you guys can tell, I do a lot of like awkward pauses in the middle of my sentences. And Rachel's had to learn when I'm awkwardly pausing and when I'm actually like done with a sentence. I feel so bad for her. But yeah, we've had to like learn each other's speaking styles too, so that when we podcast, it sounds like we're actually having a conversation and not just like spitting facts at each other. So
Yeah.
that's been a time.
It's like I don't know. I feel like we have gained a lot of skills, which is so weird to say from like, oh, we'd literally talk to a camera once or twice a week. And like the things, I guess, opportunities that have come of this, like meeting Adam Klein, meeting Neil Gottlieb, stuff like that. I think it's just so like fun and interesting how like a hobby can create something more. And, yes, people are like, oh, you aren't successful. Oh, XYZ. Like, why do you still do this? You're wasting your time. It's a stupid hobby. But then it's like, whatever, we like doing it. We're not, I don't know, if people talked behind our backs in high school about it, which probably some people did, it's like, I don't know what it's whatever. Like we really enjoy doing it. So even if the haters or like the high school bullies or whatever are gonna say mean stuff behind our backs, it's like we've had some cool experiences from this, and it's something fun that I look forward to at the end of the week talking about the Survivor season. So it's like I'm so excited for season 38 to come on because Survivor just makes me so happy seeing it on Wednesday and then rewatching the episode, knowing that I'm going to have the opportunity to analyze it at the end of the week. It just gives me something to look forward to.
Yeah, and I think that there are a lot of people who didn't expect us to like get as far as we did. Like I know when we hit 100 subscribers, I told my mom, I was like, "Oh, we hit 100 subscribers." And she was like, "Wait, really?" I was like,
Oh,
"Thanks, mom." But yeah, I know a lot of people like didn't expect us to get this far, and I think that there's some people who like I'll be like, "Oh, I have a Survivor podcast on YouTube." And they'll be like, "Oh, how many subscribers do you have?" And then when the answer is like more than three, they look at me with such astonishment on their faces. But
yeah.
yeah.
Which is like anytime in class or like you meet new people and they're like, give us a fun fact, go in a circle, say your name, major fun fact. It's like I usually say it because it's something unique. Other people don't have it or like are too scared to start or like aren't passionate about things. I don't know. Some people in college are really boring, but I just think it's unique and it's so cool. And then you find other people who are genuinely interested in the show and you can like form a friendship because you both are super into the show.
Yeah, and I know that like we've known some one of our friends from high school, like when we started like doing the Survivor podcast, she was like, "Wait, you guys watch Survivor?" And we had never known that like each other all watched Survivor until Rachel and I started this podcast. So it was like a really cool bonding moment or whatever. So it's really fun.
Yeah. And just like, I don't know, it's just a ton of fun being able to talk about the show. And hopefully, it lasts long enough for us to potentially apply and play. I mean, technically we are of age now, but
We ain't
yeah.
gonna like cut our college career, like taking a gap year in between like your junior and senior year of college or whatever. Not happening.
Yeah, gap semester, I guess, in the spring, which then we won't graduate until the next fall 2020.
Yeah, and I ain't about that. It's easier to get jobs in the spring, I've heard.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see what the future holds with like this channel, with our lives. People who have been here from like the literal beginning, I guess you've seen us grow up on camera because what? We were like 16, 17 and now we're 2021, which that's a long as hell time, especially in like the prime years of like high school, college. I don't know, it's just so weird to think about. 16
Yeah.
years old.
At 16 years old, I thought Russell Hantz was the best player ever to play Survivor. Man, how times have changed.
Aw. Oh, there we go. I was trying to fix the light.
Yeah, Windows. How gross.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this is like most of our background story. Physics class, we've known each other for a while. We started and we're still doing it.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions about like how we got around to doing this, you can feel free to leave them in the comments below. We'll answer them as long as they're not like creepy or like super personal information.
What?
So, I don't know. What if someone asks us like something crazy? You never know with these things because it's YouTube. But yeah, we'll answer your questions if we can. And yeah, we'll see you super soon to talk about Survivor.
I'm so excited. Season 38. Hopefully, the edge of extinction does not ruin it for everyone. I'm so excited, though.
I'm super, super excited for Kelly Wentworth to finally win.
Oh, my girl, Kelly. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.